Speaking of YouTube, this show, folks, will be on YouTube as well. It will be on the internet, ssptv.com, as well as on Attorney Hughes' website. And what is the website?
It's Hughes for Judge 2009.
Okay, HughesForJudge2009.com. So you'll watch the show anytime as well, but it's also on YouTube. We cover the area about, and you feel experience is very important.
I really do. As I said, let me tell you a little bit about my background. As I mentioned to you, I came back and fulfilled a dream joining my dad in practice, and that was terrific. During that 5 years, we practiced in the area of real estate, estate planning, municipal work, some banking work. He was the vice president of a bank at the time up in Pittston, and we did civil litigation and a little criminal defense back then. During that time, I had a great experience. It was one of the first things where I got to know Hazleton well. Legal Services is an organization that provides for free service for the indigent. And at that time, Charlie Patrol was head of it. And I had interned there while I was in law school. And he asked me if I would come and head the Hazleton office one day a week on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday during the early part of my career for many, many years, I was right down the street from Hugh in what was the old, I don't know what's being used for now, it was the post office down there and was eventually the Luzerne County Courthouse, the lower annex. We were in there and I was providing services to the poor, and that was a great experience and one that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do. Mm-hmm. We handled a lot of landlord-tenant issues, really important issues in the middle of winter when people were being evicted and things. We were able to fight for the rights of the poor, protection from abuse actions. I got a lot of experience in that. Small claims actions that were so important. I dealt with that. And I got to get a hot dog at Jimmy Dog's every Wednesday, so I was in pretty good shape.
You know, in my business, you know, you have to have that fire in your stomach. You know, as Jack Palance used to say, Sammy, if you don't have this fire in your stomach, it ain't going to work, okay? I think anybody who is practicing law or thinking becoming a judge, you just got to have that fire and desire in your stomach, don't you think?
I think you've got to love the law and you've got to love the system and you have to believe in the system. I truly believe in this democratic system, and I think that our court system is a great system. You know, I know what's been going on. We've all talked about it. It's on the news all the time. And I hear people say things like, well, that's just typical Luzerne County. And nothing bothers me more because it's not typical Luzerne County. Luzerne County is a wonderful place, has wonderful people in it. The one thing I've learned being out campaigning, and as I say, I'm new to this, but you meet a lot of nice people, and you meet them everywhere. You meet them. I've been all over this county, and it's a big county. Mm-hmm. I've been down here in your neck of the woods. I've been in 5 different areas of Pittston. I've been in Mackinac, Shikshini. And there are great people everywhere, and they're out giving their time. You know, they work all week, and I get to see them at charity events. They're supporting their church. They're supporting their favorite charity. That's typical Luzerne County. That's where we like to raise our kids. And the system's working. You know, these issues that are happening right now, which have been a breach of public trust. The one thing that I want people to be rest assured is that the system is working, and anyone who's dishonest, I believe, will be brought to justice, and that we'll come out of this a stronger county for it. Mm-hmm. So I'm an optimist. I think things are going to get better and better.
And I agree with you. Sometimes why I say to our viewers, Richard, is why it is so critical for no matter what elected office they're going into, it's important to vote for the right people. Don't vote for people who are your friends. If they're qualified, they're friends, it's a bonus. But vote for qualifications. If I had to go to court, okay, which I hope I don't have to, but if I did, I would want to know that I walk into court with my attorney, that the judge is going to be a fair and honest judge. He's not going to be a judge that, that I'm afraid he may have ties to whatever. I want to make sure that he's fair and honest. And I'm hoping that the judge would understand, what my case may be. So that's what I think is so important, why we have to consider qualifications for our judicial system.
Yeah, I agree. There has to be you want a feeling of a level playing field when you come in.
Yeah.
That's what people ask for. That's what they deserve when they walk in that courtroom. And as I mentioned before, though, you have to have confidence in the judge, that the judge can make the appropriate evidentiary rulings and understand the law. As you said, you'd want somebody to make sure they've read your case, they spend their time, they work hard. That's one of the areas of experience that I really want people to know. I've been fortunate in my career to have tried a lot of cases. I've tried civil cases both on the plaintiff side, on the defense side. I've tried those in federal court. I've tried them in state court. And in 1988, I was appointed by Coriel Stevens to the DA's office. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of in my career. I started in '88 with now Judge Stevens, and I was there for 2 more administrations up until 1993. And it was a part-time position. During that time, I tried over 30 jury trials to verdict. I tried 3 homicide cases, all with success. Each of those defendants is serving life sentence. And that's the sort of experience you need, I think, for this position. You have to feel confident in the courtroom. You have to feel in control of the courtroom, because when you or anyone else comes in, they want to know that you've got that command of the courtroom, that command of the evidentiary rules. And I hope that people will really take a hard look. As you say, there's 17 of us running. That's a lot running for 2 spots. Yeah. But if they really look at the experience of the people, I think they can pare that list down pretty quickly.
And that's why every vote's going to count. Every vote's going to count.
Most importantly, everybody's got to get out and vote. That's what's so important in this election. Get out and voice your opinion.
When you're talking about Luzerne County, just recently, folks, Attorney Hughes kicked off his campaign in Wilkes-Barre and Hazleton, and this is what Mayor Barletta had to say at that kickoff. So let's run this.
It's nice to see such a big crowd here for such a good man. You know, Dick has been a good friend of mine, as well as a good supporter, and has always been there for me. So it's very easy for me to stand up here right now and introduce him. I could tell you a lot about him professionally, but probably important for those who don't know him personally, his integrity speaks for itself. And it's someone that I am very proud to introduce. What some people may not realize is that Dick actually got his start, his beginning, right here in the city of Hazleton doing legal services. So it's good to see you back where you once started to make this very important announcement. He's also working in the DA's office as an assistant DA. Dick Hughes is a great man, a good person, and will be a great judge. I'm very proud to introduce to you Dick Hughes.
Okay, so folks, Mayor Barletta, you know, terrific guy, great friend, gave me a big endorsement that night. We kicked off our campaign in Wilkes-Barre in the afternoon, and then we came down to Hazleton and launched our website, and Mayor Barletta gave us a big endorsement, kicked off that event for us, and it's really terrific. It's been, his support's been super.
And why do you think the mayor gave you his endorsement?
Well, I believe the mayor's known me quite a while. He knows of my achievements. He knows I'm hardworking, and he knows I've got the experience for the job.
Now, speaking of experience for the job, you know, you've been around. Let's look at Lower Luzerne County. What I think Lower Luzerne County, based on the politicians and people who've been around for a long time, are considering this Lower Luzerne even more importantly than it has always been. Okay. What are some of your ties to Lower Luzerne County?
Well, as I said, one of the things is I started out running that legal services office 1 day a week, and that got me very familiar with this area because people came from all over the outlying areas and came in, and we provided a free service to them. I know Hazleton also because this is where we had we went to church for many years. When my wife and I got married, my wife was Episcopalian, and as many of the religions, we had to have some counseling before you get married, and we were looking for a church, and we found St. Peter's down here, the Episcopal Church. I think it's on Laurel Street. And so we spent about 6 years attending that church after we got married, and had a wonderful time there, became very close to the minister who then later retired. I've also spent a lot of time down here with my work with the DA's office. As I mentioned, I was from '88 to '93, I was in the DA's office, and I'm happy to report that I'm back in the DA's office. My dear friend Jackie Musto Carroll, who we started together under Corey Stevens in '88, and all these years later, she's our first woman DA, and she called me last year in January and asked me if I would come back to handle some of the more high-profile cases and some serious cases. And I work a lot with Hazleton on that. I work with your local police department. I work with your state police down here. And that is wonderful for me. I just enjoy it. It's a very fulfilling to work side by side with the police fighting crime.